Hello friends, welcome to the Wednesday show. If this is your first time in the channel, we want to extend you a very warm welcome. If you have been here before but you have not subscribed, please subscribe. If it is your birthday, happy birthday. Today and probably for the next couple of Wednesdays, we are going to have a project relating to my Jaguar. So it will be an automotive kind of experience. For the last several weeks, I've been hearing what I can describe only as a rubbing sound coming from the car, and this is probably all my fault because I did not really stop and troubleshoot that sound. The other day the car started making a very loud, how would you describe it?
I said it sounded like grinding, but you also said just prior to that when you were driving it reacted strangely too.
Yeah, very, very loud grinding sound. Luckily it was close enough to the house that the car made it to my garage. But it is now time to troubleshoot and see what exactly is happening. My initial thought is that it is something either with the front or rear differential or the transmission. And it can be something as simple as a change of fluids. I don't think the car was driven enough under those conditions to have done damage, but on the other hand we might have some broken teeth either in the differential or in the transmission. But before we start changing parts and throwing money at it, we are going to look under the car and see if we can see any obvious signs. Things like leaks from the transaxles, things like leaks from the differentials or even the transmission, making visual inspections to make sure that the boots are not failing and all the transaxles are in good shape. If the visual inspection doesn't reveal anything, then we're going to lift the car and start taking things apart. And I'm going to start with the rear transaxle because I think that's where the sound comes from. Would you agree?
Yes.
So it doesn't mean that it's not coming from the front transaxle or the transmission, but I'm almost certain it comes from the rear. So the first thing I'm going to do is probably open the transaxle and see if I can see any visual damage in it. And I will show you all these processes. Today I will show you the visual inspections that I'm going to do, and then this will probably be a more than one episode. And I wanted to show you how you can fix even seemingly serious problems by yourself. If it is a transmission issue, I will have to buy a transmission lift because I don't have one, and transmissions are very heavy, you cannot just do them by yourself. Other than that, I have all the material that I need. I have transaxle fuel, or not fuel, oil, and if I'm lucky it's just the rear transaxle, and I will open it, inspect it, I will show you that process, and if everything looks good, if I see that it doesn't have any oil, we'll know that was the issue. Or if it has oil but it is dirty, that is the issue. Usually in the transaxle, in the transmission, the oil gets a very burnt smell when it is going back. So we should be able to see if the oil is bad. And also it changes color to a very dark black color when it is actually a honey color when you start with it. So stick around, we're going to show you what we're going to do today and also what the plans are for the next episode. What? So let's go first and see under the car and make a visual inspection.
I'm looking at the boot and I don't see any sounds of wear or tear or any problem. And I'm going on the other side here and I'm looking at the underside of the car. I see no leaks. I see nothing concerning right now. And I'm trying to show you the boot that goes into the transaxle. And I cannot get a good look, but I can see it, and there is no problem with that boot either. There is the bottom of the transaxle there, and I see no indications of a leak there. And now on the other side, I see no leaks under the car. I see no indication of a external visual problem at all. So I guess that's a good thing. It's hard to know right now if it is a good or a bad thing, but at least we know we don't have an external failure of the vehicle. What you're looking now is, I'm trying to show you next to the exhaust pipe where you can see the boot, and again it looks healthy. I'm sorry it doesn't, the light is not very good, but again I see absolutely no signs and you can see the differential bottom there, and it looks totally dry, so it doesn't look like something is compromised there. So our initial visual inspection does not reveal any problems on the car. And here is the other side again. I don't know if you can see it. I can see the boot very clearly, and I don't see any problems at all. There's no leaks at all. And I'm looking at the transaxle, and again where the boot gets into the transaxle I see no problems. So at least the initial visual inspection of the rear transaxle doesn't show us anything. Okay, and here's the bottom of the transaxle, very close up, and we see there is nothing there. It is totally dry. Where the transaxle is entered by the drive there, by the drive shaft, and again we see the boot is in very good health. We see no leaks, we see no cracks, we see nothing of the sort. Let's go and see if we can see the other boot. Again, here is the other boot, and we see absolutely no external problems. Everything seems to be fine.
So we do see a problem in the front differential or even the transmission, but we do see no problems in the rear. So we have moved a little bit with our diagnostic. And just to tell you my approach here, first we do a visual inspection. If the visual inspection demonstrates some issues like we just found, we need to lift the car. I'm sorry, I have all kinds of dirt from being under the car. We need to lift the car and watch it closer, and then take apart all the parts that seem to have a visual problem, and then investigate inside, going to look at the gears and so forth. Or it is possible that it has lost enough fluid that we simply need to put fluid in the differential. So I hope you will stick around for our next episode that is going to be a little more in-depth and more detailed. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and as you saw, it was a fairly straightforward process in doing the visual inspection, and gave us some idea of what might be wrong. If you did enjoy the episode, please smash that like button. If you didn't, the other button works as well. Please share, like, and if you have not done those, subscribe. And if you're interested in seeing the process, follow us through as we're going to do a detailed inspection of this Jaguar, which actually has become my favorite car, and hopefully we'll have it back on the road very quickly. From the Garage Woodworker, and
I'll be there.
we're going to see you soon.